Hers, KHOU 11's energy expert and professor at U of H. Ed, thanks so much for joining us. First things first, the question on everybody's mind after the breaking news that we saw today, obviously the U.S. joining Israel in strikes in Iran. You know, the question on everybody's mind is how is that going to affect the average American? What should we be worried or concerned about?
Well, it already has a bit. The price of oil has gone up about $10, $12 a barrel over the last 8 to 12 weeks. That was in response to the president moving the Gerald R. Ford, the carrier task force into the Mediterranean, into strike position. The president pretty well telegraphed that's exactly what he was going to do. And so the oil markets have priced Iran's exports out of the market already. And so we're going to see some impact at the pump because of this.
Wow, so we've already started to see that. That is, wow, something a lot of folks probably had no idea that that's how it even works.
Well, that's pretty much the way it was going. We were seeing tanker rates go up and tanker insurance go up dramatically. The real challenge here is if Iran retaliates with a scorched earth sort of approach that also includes a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. This would be a tactic that would hurt Iran also. But 18 to 20 million barrels a day flows through that strait. And say taking half of that off would 10 million barrels a day, would drive the price of oil up above $150 a barrel for a period of time. Certainly the US and China have significant strategic petroleum reserves, and we could go to those again to push the price down a bit. But we don't know how long this blockade could last. You know, the U.S. Navy has had its minesweepers there for decades, picking up the mines that Iran has deployed. It's the strategic strike.
Oh, sorry, we can take that.
It is the strategic choke point in the global oil market.
And speaking about the global oil market, I think a lot of people hear, right, the price of oil barrels. What does that mean to us at the pump when you're actually pumping gas into your vehicle?
Well, it's going to mean an increase, and probably not a lot just with the move up to $65 a barrel. But if the price goes north of $125 a barrel, obviously we could see the price back up to the $4 and $5 range pretty quickly.
Ed, what are the president's main objectives with this mission?
Well, it's pretty clear that the U.S. and Israel failed to knock Iran's nuclear program out of commission last year. So that's the first priority. The second appears to be helping effect a regime change in Iran. The president really doesn't want to have a big impact on oil markets. For more than 40 years, he has been all about low oil prices. That was his first trip last year to Saudi Arabia to talk to MBS to get the price of oil down, which OPEC did. Also keep in mind that we have a trade with Saudi Arabia and with other members of OPEC in the Middle East to provide defense. And Iran is not just angry at Israel and having Israel as an adversary or the US. Iran's next target would be Saudi Arabia. And the Saudis and its neighbor nations are really not wanting to have Iran as a nuclear threat to them.
Wow. So it's not just the U.S. that we're thinking about in the move, it sounds like.
It is a regional conflict. Iran's retaliated against U.S. bases and other nations in the region. It's a huge threat. Iran knows that it is isolated. They've called in the Russians, but the Russians really can't help. They're bogged down with Ukraine. So this is not something that's designed to have a big impact on the oil markets, but really it's a political issue and a military issue.
And definitely an issue that we will be keeping close eyes and close tabs on as it continues to unfold. Ed, thank you so much as always for helping us break it all down. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.